Today we start the episode at Red Flame Mountain on the 52nd floor. It was a barren desert with big pillar mountains. Hot air was howling through this plain land. There was a massive creature with a face of a wild boar. The body of this wild boar was covered in engulfing fire. It looked down at the man below with a menacing look. The man below was the old hero Han Tai-jun. He was looking at this wild boar with a brave expression, ready to fight at any time. All of a sudden the wild boar looked at Tai-jun and laughed at him maniacally. Then it started to speak. "Who do we have here?" "A human from outside the tower. I thought you'd have died from my flame curse." But Tai-jun didn't care about his words even a little bit. Tai-jun smiled and said, "I had a really nice vacation for the last few years, thanks for that. It seems like you've been enjoying your life in the tower with just one eye open, huh? How much have you eaten? I think I'm even smelling the barbecue smell all this way." After that Tai-jun left a loud chuckle. But this made the wild boar so much angry. The one eye had started to glow in bright red. Massive killing intent covered its face. It spoke in anger. "You bastard! I'll make you regret ever showing yourself before me again." It let out a massive roar. More and more fire started to rage out of its body. Then it stomped on ground. This made the ground to break into pieces. Although this beast is going to attack him, Tai-jun shows massive excitement on his face. He looked at the wild boar and smilingly said, "These kinds of tricks won't work anymore. Because I have the sweet sun pumpkin potato with me." Meanwhile the wild boar was rushing toward Tai-jun. Tai-jun took out a sweet sun pumpkin potato and started to munch it down. Then all of a sudden Tai-jun got a power-up. He felt so good and powerful. Fiery aura came out of his body giving him a majestic look. Then the fire around Tai-jun started to disappear, surprising the wild boar. It stopped advancing toward Tai-jun and asked in an amazement, "How did you do that?" But right now Tai-jun was not in a mood to chat. He started to advance toward the boar with lightning speed. Seeing this, wild boar looked more disturbed. And in a hurry it sent a massive fire wave toward Tai-jun. Tai-jun saw that a massive fire wave was coming toward him. But he was not afraid at this moment. He was fully ready to face the wild boar. Tai-jun managed to miss the fire wave attack with great agility of his. Then he started to run toward the wild boar again. But the boar was also not going to give up easily. It started to send fire waves one after another toward Tai-jun. Looking at Tai-jun, who was trying his best to avoid the fire, the boar let out a loud laugh and shouted, "Become a whole roasted food." But Tai-jun emerged from the sea fire with a fist ready to smash down the fire beast. While flying toward this beast, Tai-jun smiled and said, "I told you it doesn't work anymore, didn't I?" But the angry boar lunged toward Tai-jun with his fiery hands. And it was able to caught Tai-jun midair. This made Tai-jun to worry a little. The wild boar started to squeeze Tai-jun and shouted at him, "I'll crush you so that you can't do anything." But Tai-jun started to speak in a carefree manner, "You seem to have forgotten since it's been a long time since we fought. But I'm a magician." Then he started to conjure a magic spell. With that the wild boar started to scream in pain. Pure blue light started to linger around them. Scared, the wild boar started to sweat. Blue light energy covered the atmosphere. Within few moments wild boar fell into the ground defeated. Tai-jun climbed up to the body of wild boar and sighed in relief. System messages started to appear saying, "You have defeated the 52nd floor boss, Burning Wild Boar. The flame curse of the Burning Wild Boar is being lifted. The land burned by the wild boar's curse is being restored." The still desert started to show a miracle. Tree leaves started growing out of nowhere with a magical golden light. Fresh grass was growing and filling the land. Even Tai-jun's body was also showing a sign of change. He looked at his body and said, "The flame curse is disappearing. Was this floor cursed like I was too?" He happily looked at Sun Potato and started thinking, this was all possible thanks to the sweet Sun Pumpkin Potato. How can I repay this debt? Coincidentally, sales cat Theo was also on the 52nd floor. Theo walked toward Tai-jun and loudly said, "Grass is suddenly growing from the ground. It's uncomfortable to walk around in." Tai-jun and Theo started to look each other in suspicious manner. Something clicked on Tai-jun's mind and he shouted, "Wandering cat merchant?" Hearing these words, Theo got a bit startled. Then Theo saw the sun potato in Tai-jun's hand. This made Theo furious. He started to shout at Tai-jun, "Oi, old man! Where did you get that thing in your hand?" Tai-jun, with a smug smile, looked at the sun pumpkin sweet potato in his hand. Then he explained the whole backstory to Theo. After hearing the full story, Theo shouted with excitement and asked, "So you're Dongshik's master?" He brought the sweet sun pumpkin potato for his master. What a fine disciple. Hearing Theo's words, Taijun let out a loud laugh and said, "That's right. I really am proud of our dongshik. You said you were Theo, right? I was able to get rid of the flame curse thanks to you. Thank you. You saved me. I owe you. I shall not forget this kindness." Then evil side of Theo stepped in and Theo said, "Then, repay that debt now." This statement made Taijun a bit puzzled. So he asked, "What? How?" Then Theo said with a mischievous grin on his face, "Make a contract with me." Taijun smiled and said, "A contract?" In the tower, contracts are an important constraining magic. I don't want to be constrained to you. This made Theo a bit uneasy. No one say no to the great sales cat Theo. So Theo said, "What? Didn't you say you'd like to repay your debt to me? Become my underling." Theo started to cling into Taijun's hand and started to beg, "Please, become my underling." But Taijun gave a stern answer, "I don't want to." But then again Taijun started to speak with a smile, "How about this then? Let's become friends. If anything happens, this grandpa will grant your request as a friend." This made Theo so happy. But to clarify, Theo again repeated what Taijun said, "Friends? You'll grant any request?" So Taijun let out a loud chuckle and said, "Anything Theo wants, since we're friends." With this statement, Theo became more bolder and said, "Very well. Then, competent old friend. Follow me to the 38th floor." Meanwhile, in the 99th floor some delicious food is being made by Sejuan. He opened the lid and looked at the meal that was being cooked and said, "Smells tasty. I think it's been boiling for almost 12 hours. Should be okay to eat now, right?" Little Bunny answered Theo, "I think so. The ingredient Sejuan cooking right now is red locust. Season it with salt here," Sejuan said. Then again Sejuan started thinking. "Not long ago, I saw monsters enjoying it, so I tried cooking it out of curiosity about the taste. It doesn't look that good, visually. But obtaining various proteins is important. Right now Queuing was drooling over cooked red locust meat. Sejuan looked at Queuing and said, "Todder. Boiled red locust, complete." All of a sudden system messages started to pop up saying, "The achievement of cooking the first boiled red locust in the tower has been achieved. Cooking skill has leveled up by 3. Sejuan looked at beautifully made locust meat and said, "Seems like there hasn't been anyone to cook red locusts in the tower before. I peeled off its hard skin, cut off the flesh, and boiled it. How would it taste?" Then Sejuan took the locust meat near his mouth. He took a bite but it felt bit different. He couldn't tear it apart. It was like biting into rubber. Sejuan tried his best to take a bite out of locust meat. But he lost his grip and this made him to fell backward. Accidentally Sejuan hit his head on the wall. Surprised Queuing looked at all this with his mouth open. Hearing the commotion, even the black rabbit came to see what happened. Meantime Sejuan was crying on the floor while holding his head. Sejuan said while crying, "It's so tough and dry." Then some more system messages started to appear saying, "You have acquired red locust meat. A trace amount of poison remains in the red locust meat. You have been poisoned with Class E neurotoxin. You have been detoxified." This made Sejuan so scared and shouted, "There was poison in red locusts. Had it not been for the detoxifying green onion, I could have died." Although hearing this Queuing started to eat cooked red locust meat while saying, "To not be able to eat this delicious thing, I pity Dad. How weak is your teeth?" But Sejuan thought in his head, "For Queuing, who chews on the tough blade of green onion, you shouldn't be saying that." Yet after so many tries the long-awaited dish that came out after repeated failures. So Sejuan took the locust dish to the rabbit family and said, "Rabbit Mom, let's eat. Eating something tender is good when your body is recovering. Cool it down and take your time eating in your room." Seeing Sejuan's helpful manner, Rabbit Mom thanked him. Once Sejuan finished making red locust soup, he got system message saying, "The achievement of cooking the first combat food, red locust soup has been accomplished. Added with thinly sliced red locust meat, detoxifying green onions, and strength potatoes. It was simmered for a long time, all ingredients were mixed harmoniously and the effects were amplified. Detoxifying green onion detoxifies the poison in the red locust meat and makes it more tender. Thanks to the detoxifying effect of green onions, this dish does not spoil easily. The taste improves slightly. Strength increases by 5.1 upon consumption. Additional increase in strength by 0.1 as an effect of cooking LV2, due to the combat food effect, it will keep you full for 3 hours. Chef is Tower Farmer Park Sejuan, shelf life 30 days. Grade C+ dish. After reading this description, Sejuan said, "It has an unusual title, combat food." Meanwhile Queuing and bunnies were also trying the soup. Sejuan took a sip of soup with his spoon. All of a sudden he jumped up with a loud scream. This made everyone there confused. Queuing asked Sejuan, "Dad, what's wrong?" with worried look. Sejuan started talking with a trembling voice and said, "Queuing, the red locusts taste like chicken meat." Sejuan was so happy, tears of joy were even coming out of his eyes. But Queuing doesn't know what a chicken is. So Queuing asked, "What's chicken meat?" So Sejuan started to pat Queuing happily and answered, "Something Dad likes." Queuing laughed and said, "If Dad likes it, I like it too." It was 235th day after Sejuan got lost. He discovered meat that resembles chicken meat inside the tower. Everyone enjoyed the newly made dish. With that, today's episode comes to an end. Make sure to subscribe. See you guys in next video.